uBlock Origin is dead on Chrome. Chrome 150 shipped on June 30th and pulled out the last flag that let power users dodge Google's restrictions. Extension Manifest v2 disabled. Chrome 151 rolls out this month and finishes the job. So if you're still running Chrome, your ad blocker is either already broken or it's about to be. And this wasn't some accident in a changelog. A Google engineer called the old code dead in the commit that removed it. So let's get into why Google actually did this, and what you need to switch to before it catches you off guard. Google's been pushing this migration since 2019, moving extensions off Manifest v2 and onto Manifest v3. The part that actually matters is what got ripped out, the Web Request API, which is what let uBlock Origin step in and rewrite requests on the fly in real time. In its place, Chrome now runs on something called Declarative Net Request, basically a fixed, capped rule list that Google controls, not your extension. Here's what that means in plain terms. Your ad blocker used to think for itself. Now it has to work off a pre-approved list Chrome hands it, and it can't go outside those lines. Google's official reasoning is security. They say the old Web Request API is a mess of tech debt with real documented vulnerabilities, and they're not lying. Some of that is legit. Malicious extensions have absolutely abused broad MV2 permissions to inject ads, steal data, even hijack affiliate links behind people's backs. If this kind of stuff matters to you, hit subscribe, trying to get this channel to 16,000. We're closing in on 16,000 subs, and it helps more than you'd think. So if you're still here, go ahead and subscribe. But follow the money for a second. Google pulled in an estimated $239.5 billion in ad revenue in 2025. So the same company setting the rules for how ad blockers can work is the one selling the ads those blockers are supposed to stop. And the security argument gets shakier the closer you look. Researchers at Goethe University Frankfurt actually tested MV2 and MV3 blockers side by side and found they performed about the same in a lot of cases, which kind of undercuts the idea that this was purely necessary, especially for the rule-heavy blockers that need to adapt fast. Meanwhile, CISA, the actual US cybersecurity agency, has told people for years to run ad blockers as protection against malware. That's the exact tool Google just gutted. So call it what it is, a business decision dressed up as a security patch. Speaking of companies controlling what data you can and can't get to, this video is brought to you by Hella Data. They run a proxy network built for large-scale scraping and AI data collection, residential, mobile, ISP, and datacenter IPs, over 80 million of them, spread across 195 countries. So if you're pulling data at scale, training models, running agents, or just need an IP that doesn't get flagged and blocked the second you hit a target site, that's the infrastructure they've built. It's honestly the same fight we just talked about with Chrome, somebody controlling what you're allowed to access, just moved over to the data layer instead of the browser. Setup's basically a one-line swap into whatever you're already running, Python, Node, whatever. And it works out of the box with stuff like Playwright, Scrapy, and LangChain if you're building agents. Links in the description. Use code HDK1UV for 10% off. So let's break down what's actually still working and what's not. Original uBlock Origin, dead on Chrome. Once Chrome 151 rolls out, there's no workaround left, period. uBlock Origin Lite. This is the MV3 compatible version, made by the same developer, Gorehill. It still works, but it's capped on how many rules it can run, and it can't filter dynamically, so it's going to miss ad networks that change fast. AdGuard, AdBlock, Ghostery, all updated for MV3, all still functional, but they're hitting that same structural ceiling everyone else is. Brave is different. Ad blocking's built straight into the browser engine, not bolted on as an extension, so it just sidesteps this whole MV3 mess entirely. And since it's Chromium-based, it still runs your Chrome extensions and works on the same sites. Firefox isn't Chromium at all. They built their own version of MV3 but kept the Web Request API intact, so the full original uBlock origin still runs there, and it's still getting updates. And if you want to go one level deeper, there's network-level blocking. Pi-hole, NextDNS, doing it at the router level. That works no matter what browser you're on or what manifest version it's running. I'll get into that properly in another video. What you should actually do. Want Chrome's feel with real ad blocking? Switch to Brave. It's Chromium-based. Blocking's built into the engine, so it doesn't rely on the extension layer Google keeps gutting. Want max power and full control? Go Firefox with the original uBlock origin. Fully supported, no compromises. Stuck on Chrome for work? Install uBlock Origin Lite and pair it with a DNS blocker. Next, DNS free tier or self-hosted Pi-hole. Won't get you back to where you were, but it helps. On mobile? Chrome never supported real extensions anyway, so nothing's really lost. Brave or Firefox with uBlock is your move. Google didn't accidentally break your ad blocker. They spent 6 years building toward this and shipped the final patch the same summer their AI overviews started eating publisher traffic. Less blocking, less reason to ever leave Google's ecosystem. If you want to see exactly what Chrome is sending home, even with an ad blocker installed, I've got the Wireshark capture from the Windows 11 telemetry video, and I'm running the same test on stock Chrome versus Brave next. Subscribe if you're not ready to let Google own your browser too. Full ad blocker migration guide is linked below. Discord's open for discussion.